I blew through the review for the Tragically Hip, both albums, really quickly when I was in downtown Kingston on Tragically Hip Way. And I'm going to talk about Up to Here first. It's the one I've listened to the most at this point between the two albums. It's the one I know the best. I will get to the other one, but I got to listen to it a few times. So I'm going to intersplice this intro. Look at me, I'm the I in hip. There's no I, there is an I am an I, okay. Mixed in with me in Kingston. Mixed in with some other Tragically Hip stuff related while I was in Kingston. Check it out. You know you're cool when your band gets a street named after you. Can't get more badass and Canadian than having your own Tragically Hip Way. And I hope you enjoy it. Because things didn't go the way I hoped while I was in Kingston, unfortunately. Timing really was off, and unfortunately, I sadly did not get the chance to meet up with one of my regular viewers, Cryptic Rick. So, you know, I am make up for it by getting a whole bunch of Wasp reviews done for you down the line, because I've already well, actually, by the time that this is up, the Wasp reviews will be coming shortly. For me, they'll be down the line, I guess, but this is down the line. Anyways. Don't let anybody steal my phone.
Okay.
Alright, everybody. I said I was going to do the hip from Tragically Hip Way, so I'm doing the hip from Tragically Hip Way. Look at me, I'm the I in hip. There's no I, there is an I am an I. Okay, so, Tragically Hip, Up to Here. We got Blow at High Dough. Didn't know that song before this. That was a decent, fun song to open up the album with. I'll Believe in You, or I'll Believe Leaving You Tonight. That was a fun song, had a good tempo to it. New Orleans is Sinking. My lord, I remember this one getting overplayed crazy to death. 38 years old. Okay, so totally thought this was called a different title. Never Been Kissed, I think, or something along those lines. But good tune all the same. She Didn't Know, not a bad tune. Boots or Hearts, that one kind of just passed by. Every Time You Go, that wasn't bad. When the Heart Comes Down, not bad. Trickle Down, not bad. Another Midnight, that was actually enjoyable. And Opiated, not bad. When it comes to this entire album on its own, it's not a bad album. I very much enjoy it. While cruising down the highway, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would, especially considering if you're one of my regular viewers, you know I'm not a big fan of the hip, and usually it's because I say I'm not a big fan of Gord Downey's voice. I discovered while listening to this album that Gord Downey has a lot more range than what you usually hear on Much Music and crap like that. So, like 100th Meridian, which is thankfully not on any of these albums, which I absolutely loathe. New Orleans is Sinking, and a couple other ones. They all kind of sound one way. But then on other songs, he sounds completely different, and it's really, really cool. I would say when it comes to this album in general, this is one, it's a good Canadian album, but it really reminds me of the Rolling Stones. That's where I'm really, really going with this one. It's got that rawness, a lot of the sound and textures in the guitar, everything like that. Just totally reminds me of the Rolling Stones. Thought it was fantastic. Really, really, really good time. Really enjoyed it. Sadly, because I'm driving the car the entire time, I listened to this thing like 5 times in a row. Didn't have the CD track listing in front of me, never memorized the track listing. Wonderful helicopter flying over top of me there. Thank you very much, Kingston. Love ya. But the whole way around, I would say if you've never heard the hip, pick up this album. This is a really good album, really enjoyable, and it really did change my mind on the hip quite a bit. Check it out. Of course it's the hip. It's in the hip. Okay. Okay, so moving along. Here we go. Blow It High Dough. This, I'm pretty sure, was a single. I remember hearing this one a lot. It's a really good song. It's the perfect one to start off this album. It's got the right amount of energy to it, which is good. I Believe in You, or I'll Be Leaving You Tonight. This is a nice Midwest rocker kind of tune. Or a Heartland, if you like, kind of tune. You know, like it's really, to me, you know, brings up visions of, you know, like John Cougar Mellencamp, yeah, I'm gonna go John Cougar Mellencamp, or yeah, best one there, I think. Maybe a little Bruce Springsteen-ish. New Orleans is Sinking. I know this was a big single. Not a bad tune. I don't mind it. 38 Years Old. This is a very beautiful, melancholy kind of song. And considering the song was in 1989, and you know, the general idea is being 38 years old and having never kissed a girl, and there's more to it than that. But it's becoming more and more commonplace now, man. Like, the world is almost prophetic in its own little way. She Didn't Know, I thought was a good little rocker. I enjoyed that one. Boots or Hearts is okay. When we get into Boots and Hearts, Every Time You Go, When the Weight Comes Down, Trickle Down, After Midnight. I hate to say it, but it really feels like they loaded the first half of the album and the back half was really good cuts. I mean, I'm not complaining about these songs. These songs are good songs. But they're very kind of just album cuts. And then you hit Opiated, which I think is a brilliant way to close out the album. I thought it was really, really well done. I hear a lot of James Hetfield voice in there. And it's funny because James Hetfield was not doing that voice quite yet. Just starting to get there at that point. Opiated probably might be one of my favorite songs on this album. If you're one of my regular viewers, and I'm sure I've already mentioned in this review, you already know I'm not a huge Tragically hip fan. And a lot of it is Gord Downey's voice, is what I used to say. After listening to this album, I think Gord Downey's voice, I think the wrong songs were constantly getting pushed on the radio for singles, and it wasn't giving the best examples of what his range was. Like, if you listen to New Orleans is Sinking, Blow It High Dough, and 38 Years Old, which were three of the big singles, I'm pretty sure, if not the three big singles. And I understand why they were. They weren't the wrong choices, but his voice on those songs sounds very kind of similar. Like the range isn't there like it is in a lot of the other ones. Gordon Sinclair, the bass is good on a lot of tunes. There's a lot of tunes where that bass has got a good thing going on. Paul Langlois on guitar. I'm not going to complain about the guitars at all. Bobby Baker and Paul Langlois both do fantastic jobs on the guitar work. Really bring it home nice, solid. And you got Johnny Faye on drums, and I think the drumming is pretty damn good on this album too. You know, it's between the two Tragically Hip albums I picked up, I don't know which one I'll listen to more, and there's more than a decade between the two of them. This one here is AAD for the production, and that will limit how much I'll listen to it, just because, like, I don't mind it in the car. It was good, you know, like, we're doing road trips, I might grab it and throw it in, because it's got a good cruise, you know, when you're going down certain sections of 401 and whatnot. Help keep the speedometer down at a reasonable speed. Make it easy to deal with light flow traffic, or Sunday afternoon or something like that, or both. But it is not an album I would crank up on the stereo at home. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I am interested. On your way down there, if you hit the like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, I'd greatly appreciate it. There's a couple links worth checking out. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care, and stay hip.